Anzac Day, so I know I'm a bit late. I was meant to make them yesterday, but I'm making them today because they taste just as good and I really do love them as biscuits. So I haven't made this recipe before. I've kind of looked at a few recipes and sort of gathered some information and kind of put together my own in my head, so I'm hoping it will go okay. So fingers crossed they work. They're going to be like a healthier alternative to normal ones, so let's get into it. Let's bake. Okay, so starting with dry ingredients, I'm pretty much going to do a cup of oats, cup of flour and half a cup of coconut. So, cup of oats. Okay, so I've got 1 cup of oats, then I've also got 1 cup of flour. I'm using gluten-free flour just because I have it in, but you can use any flour you have, so plain flour would work as well, or almond meal even, if you want another gluten-free alternative. I've also got half a cup of coconut. I'm using desiccated, you can use shredded as well, that would work if you want bigger chunks of coconut throughout. I ended up adding in a bit of shredded later anyway, as you'll see. Also adding a pinch of salt. I just like to add this to things when I'm baking as it brings out the flavour of a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily make it salty. Then I'm just going to mix that all together until it's all evenly combined. Then in a separate bowl, I've got a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. So this is going to give it more of a coconut flavour as well. Also that will act as the fat in the cookies, whereas in normal Anzac cookies you'd typically be using butter. And then I'm adding the liquid sweetener of choice. Mine today is honey. You can use maple syrup or anything else you can think of. So just a 1/4 cup of that as well, and mixing. And I'm mixing the wet with the dry ingredients. You could also add a pinch of cinnamon. I did that as well. As you can see, it came together nicely, but it needed to be a bit more wet. I think the gluten-free flour made it a bit dry, so just see if you need it. If you're using other types of flour, you might not, but for this one I did, so I added an extra bit of coconut oil and honey, which means that I would have added about a 1/3 cup of each in total for the whole recipe. Then I'm just mixing it together, mixing it with my hands as well. So to grease the pan, I've just got a bit of paper towel and I'm getting a bit of the leftover coconut oil on that and using that to grease the pan, so that's a handy little trick. Then I'm going to portion them out into small balls, roll them up and then press them down into cookie shapes on a sheet on a grease pan. And then I'm just popping them in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. Just see how they go dependent on what flour you use, how hot your oven is, and how crispy or chewy or soft you prefer them to be. Okay, so as you may saw, I had to increase the amount of honey and coconut oil, so instead of doing a 1/4 of those, which I initially planned, I would estimate it's about a 1/3 of a cup for each of those. I've got this little bit left over and it's not quite binding. Well, they could be cookies, but instead of waiting for them to come out and then make others, I'm just going to put this on a separate tray and make it into like granola. Here are the cookies. They smell pretty good. I've tasted the granola, and that tastes pretty good too. I don't think they're too bad for like a wing it together recipe. I might try one of the cookies. They were in for about 15 minutes, so I probably could have taken them out at about 12, 13, and they got a bit brown, but anyway. Not bad. They're a little bit dry. I think that comes from the gluten-free flour, so if you use normal flour or almond meal or something like that, they'd definitely be a bit more moist. I'll probably do that next time. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and see you in the next one.
That is the and the girls started having a punch up. So he put it in. So he put it in the music video. He put it in the music video.